In this video, I'm going to be rating and improving you guys' teams here in NBA 2K23 Myteam. And if you want to be featured in the next video, make sure to go ahead and follow me on Twitter at GrimFateYT. And watch out for my newest tweet that I'll be putting out in the next couple of days, where I'll be telling you guys to send in your teams yet again. So again, if you want to be featured, follow my Twitter at GrimFateYT. And make sure you go ahead and leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. Check and make sure you are subbed up. And let's get straight into the teams that you guys sent in for this video, man. So the first team here is going to be by Around the Desert. And as you guys can see right here, it looks like his Jokic is injured, which is kind of funny. But he's got Jokic at the point guard. All in all, in that starting lineup, before we even fully get into it, I can already see he has tons of height and defense. So that's a really good defensive lineup. I'd say the only problem with that starting lineup is the fact that there isn't really anybody that can 3-hunt. But if your play style is to just mash the paint, maybe shoot a couple threes here and there with Lauri Markkanen and Jokic, and you're mainly just a paint masher and you're focusing on defense, this is a really good lineup. But I would suggest definitely having at least some players off your bench. Like I see that Curry over there, which is a good 3-hunting card, to make sure that you can go ahead and have some 3-hunting in this lineup as well. The one adjustment I would make to this team is at the power forward spot. I would remove Dirk Nowitzki and replace him with the Kristaps Porzingis Dark Matter. You can pick up the Dark Matter Porzingis for somewhere around 15K, I think, 15 to 20K, and he's going to be 7'3". He's just going to be a taller edition of that Dirk and better, and he's very cheap. So that's the only thing I would say that you need to change about your starting lineup. But let's go ahead and move into the next team, y'all. The next team is going to be by my boy Sykent. He's been a loyal for a long time, and let's see what he's got for his squad. He's got Invincible LaMelo, he's got T-Mac, he's got Tim Thomas, Ben Wallace, and Hakeem. The main things I would switch up are the center and power forward spots. At the power forward, again, I would pick up Kristaps Porzingis for about 15 to 20K. If you want a cheaper option, that Dirk Nowitzki in the last team that we just saw is actually a cheaper option for only about 8K maybe. But I think the Porzingis is definitely better. And then at the center spot, definitely go ahead and pick up Dark Matter Yao Ming. He's going to be about 40 to 50,000 MT, I believe. And he's going to be the best center that you can pick up for that price range. And you do have enough MT for him. So that's what I would do for your starting lineup, Sykent, to make it a lot better. For the next team here, it's going to be I Can Do It. He says only 100K left, backup bench. Let's go ahead and see here. So as you can see, he has the stacked out end game lineup. Absolutely insane lineup right here. Nothing wrong with this starting lineup. Obviously, the only thing I would say is that Jordan might be a little bit short, but of course you've got a lot of 3-hunting coming in with that lineup. And if you wanted to, he could replace, either put Paul George in there or Paolo Banchero and put KD to the 2. But he's asking for a backup bench. So for his bench here, he's got Curry, Paul George, Elton Brand, Paolo Banchero, and Evan Mobley. The main thing I would say about your bench is to go ahead and get that Yao Ming. Yao Ming is going to be a much better center than the Evan Mobley, and I would move the Paolo Banchero to the backup small forward. I would get rid of Elton Brand completely. I would put Mobley at the backup power forward, and then I would get Dark Matter Yao Ming for about 40,000 MT as your backup center, and then your lineup is going to be a lot better. Trust me, with that improvement right there. The next team is going to be by 1A Darth. He says 20,000 MT. Love the vids. Thank you, bro. And let's get into your lineup. You've got Endgame Jokic, one of the best point guards in the game. Cade at the 2, very good. Pokachevsky, definitely not the best option at the 3, I'm going to be honest with you. And then Kristaps at the 5 is interesting, but I think it's smarter to run him at the 4. So this is what I would do. Let me tell you right now. So you've only got 20K, and I'm going to tell you exactly how you can improve this lineup. You're going to move Pokachevsky to the bench. You're going to move Bobo to the small forward. You're going to move Kristaps to the power forward. And then at the center spot, I'm going to go ahead and tell you to pick up whichever one of these cards is the cheapest between Ralph Sampson and Mark Eaton. I think you can get one of them. If you grind up a little bit of MT, you can get either Mark Eaton or Ralph Sampson for cheaper than the Yao. But if you want to save up, you can get Yao instead. Or you can try to pick up Opal Yao, which is probably cheaper. But I would probably say to get either Dark Matter Ralph Sampson or Dark Matter Mark Eaton for your center spot. It's going to be a 7-4 center, and you can have Porzingis at the 4, Bobo at the 3, and then Pokachevsky off the bench. The lineup will be a lot better all around. Next team here is going to be by Gronk, the human. And as you can see here, he's going to have Curry, LaMelo, Grady Dick, Ben Wallace, and David Robinson. You've only got about 8,000 MT here, so we don't have much MT to work with. The main thing I would say for you is to go ahead and go to my channel and look at some of my sniping filter videos, especially the recent ones, and try to snipe your way up to at least 20,000, 30,000 MT, because at this price, there isn't much you can really do to improve your lineup. But all in all, when you do have more MT, I would definitely say the main things you should focus on is improving the small forward spot, putting David Robinson at the power forward, bringing Ben Wallace off the bench, and getting a better center. Again, get either like an Opal Yao or a Mark Eaton Dark Matter for that center spot. Replace that small forward, put D-Rob at the 4. Those are the main things I would focus on when you get your MT up. Next team here is going to be by Fiki Riki. And right here, he's got this squad. We don't see how much MT he has, but it's okay. We can go ahead and just improve the team anyways. He's got Endgame Curry. He's got Invincible LaMelo. He's got Kevin Durant Endgame. He's got Kristaps Porzingis and Yao Ming. All in all, that starting lineup is pretty good. A lot of people will say, oh, get a taller point guard than Curry, and that's just really all on play style. Curry can really run the point guard. If he's not like that bad for you on defense, like if it's not making a huge difference for you having hit that short player on defense, then running Curry at the point is really fine if you can use him correctly. And all in all, that starting lineup is really good. Then you've got Drazen Petrovic, Tim Thomas, Bobo, T-Mac, and Mark Eaton off the bench. Really good bench as well. And to be honest with you, I would say the main improvements I would make is to move Kevin Durant to the shooting guard, move LaMelo as your backup point guard, and then get a small forward in that starting lineup. And your options are to either put, but honestly, this is what I would do with you right now. If I were you right now, I would move LaMelo to the backup point guard, get rid of Drazen Petrovic completely, and just sell him or something, and then move Kevin Durant endgame to the shooting guard and move your Bobo that's off the bench to the starting small forward. So your lineup would be Curry, what did I say? Oh, yeah, Curry at the point, then endgame KD, then Bobo, then Kristaps and Yao, and I think your team will be a lot better like that with LaMelo off the bench. So definitely consider doing that. For the next team here, we got Arlin. He's got Amen Thompson, which is a really underrated and good point guard, so I like that a lot. Then he's got Invincible Scottie Pippen. He's got Bob Nedelicki. He's got Ben Wallace, and he's got Joel Embiid. Main thing I would say off the bat, move Embiid to the power forward and try to pick up either someone like Yao Ming Dark Matter. If you don't have enough for that, try to get the Opal or get somebody like a Mark Eaton Dark Matter, which is pretty cheap, and have Embiid as your power forward instead, and then bring Ben Wallace off the bench, and probably just get rid of Jack Sigma and get a better and taller backup center as well. And then off your bench, you've got Christie and Curry. That's just too short. You need one of them to be a taller player. So I would consider getting somebody like the out-of-position Jokic for only about 15K to either come off your bench or start at the point guard. And here's the next lineup right here by Claw. He's got 178K, and it looks like he's got one of the best lineups that you could possibly have. He's got Giannis, KD, Victor Wembanyama, Shaq, Kareem, Jokic, Kobe, Bobo, Manute, and Marc Gasol. I can't even sit here and act like there's much you can do to improve this lineup. There isn't. You've got literally 7 endgames on your team. You've got the best card in the game, Victor Wembanyama. You've got Bobo or Manute Bol, which is probably the second best card or one of the best cards in the game on your team as well. I'm not going to sit here and act like I can improve this team. There's nothing you can do. You have one of the best teams in the game, man. Keep it up. You're killing it with that team right there, bro. Next team is going to be by NotCringy 0, 60K MT. Cade and Amari are untradeable. Okay, let's see what you got here, man. You got Cade Cunningham, great point guard, so I would keep him, honestly. And then the backup point guard looks good as well. Ilgauskas is good at the 2. Giannis is a little bit, I mean, it can get the job done defensively if you can get a lot of scoring done with Cade. But the main thing I would say about this starting lineup right here is there just isn't a lot of scoring on it. You're not going to be scoring buckets with Amari Stoudemire or Ilgauskas that much. Giannis, that playoff Giannis isn't going to be doing too much. Like, I feel like you're just missing some 3-hunting in that starting lineup. But if you're able to score enough, then the defense on that lineup is definitely going to make up for it. I like your center spot. I think you should definitely improve your power forward spot in the starting lineup. And again, I would point back to that Porzingis for the hundredth time this video as a great budget power forward option. Backup shooting guard is looking pretty bad as well. Bill Russell is solid. Marc Gasol is decent. And then I would honestly consider picking up maybe dark matter Mark Eaton as either your starting center and then move you out to the backup, or vice versa. And the backup shooting guard, definitely consider getting T-Mac for only about 10 to 12K. And you can either start him over Ilgauskas, which is what I would do, and then put Ilgauskas on the bench, and you'll have more scoring in the starting lineup, and that's what I would personally do. Let's see if we have more teams here. We do. We have Tibbler right here. And let's see what we've got. So you've got Hero Jokic, Luka Doncic, Bobo, Manupal, and Yao Ming. Very good starting lineup. I really think it's a great starting lineup. I don't think there's much you can improve in that starting lineup. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would say is I personally like the T-Mac card better than the Luka. So I would personally swap Luka and T-Mac in your starting lineup and bench, but that's just personal preference. If you're better with Luka, then definitely keep him in the starting lineup. But me personally, I would put T-Mac there. And then you got Endgame Curry, you've got T-Mac, you've got Tim Thomas, Taco, and Porzingis as well. Very good lineup all in all. And to be honest with you, and then you've got Artis Gilmore as well. Yeah, you've got a very, very elite team right here. There isn't too much I would say that you need to improve. Curry, if you just like to use him because you're able to 3-hunt and stuff, is good as well. This is a really good lineup top to bottom. I guess you could possibly improve the Porzingis with like Mark Eaton. But other than that, there's really not much you can do here. You've got a really, really good team. Obviously, I could just say, oh yeah, get this end game, that end game. But obviously, everyone knows end games are improvements. But all in all, this lineup is really, really good, and I think it's a really competitive team. Let's see what this is right here. So Dino right here says he has 32,000 MT, and let's see what team he's got right here. He's got Jokic, Dale Ellis, Tatum, Porzingis, and Mark Eaton. Great starting lineup. Main thing I would say is I personally would like that T-Mac off the bench over the Dale Ellis, but it's totally up to you. If you like the Ellis more, then definitely start him. Off the bench, Luka, T-Mac, Bobo, Anderson, Varejao, Ralph Sampson. A great budget bench right there. You picked up all 5 of those for probably under 100,000 MT total. That's such a good bench. And the starting lineup has great defense, great size. I really don't think there's much for you to improve with this squad. I think you've got a really, really good team. The main thing I would say, since you do have about 40,000 MT, would be to go ahead and pick up Dark Matter Yao Ming. He is going to be an improvement from Mark Eaton at the center, and then you can just move Mark Eaton as the backup and sell the Ralph Sampson. And that would be the only thing I would say to do right there with that team. Right here, we've got Gremlin 2K. He says 110K. He's going to have close to 150 to tomorrow. Let's see what he's got here. He says LaMelo and T-Mac are untouchable, which is a great guard backup anyway, or guard duo anyway. Lauri Markkanen, Porzingis, Arvydas. Straight away, you need to improve that center spot. The Arvydas Sabonis was good a while ago, but there's a lot of better options for cheap now. Again, I'm going to say Dark Matter Yao Ming. And I think that's going to be the best option at your center. But if you don't want to go that expensive, Opal Yao Ming is a great option as well. And he's going to be a lot cheaper. Off the bench, you definitely need some improvements with this bench. I'm not going to even lie to you, bro. The starting lineup looks really good except for the center. But the bench is looking pretty weak. I'm not going to lie. And yeah, honestly, I mean, yeah, you need like a backup point guard. You can, if you want to go really cheap, you can get Ben Simmons as a backup point for only about 7K, or you can get Jokic for about 15K. You can get at the backup shooting guard T-Mac for about 10 to 12K. Backup small forward, you can get Bobo for 50K, or you can get what's his name? Tim Thomas for about 6K. And then you can run Arvydas honestly as your backup center, and Amari is fine. All in all, just need some improvements at that center spot and the bench all around. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to go ahead and leave a like and sub up. If you want to be featured in the next video, make sure to follow me on Twitter at GrimFateYT. Even if you were in this video, you can be featured in the next one as well with some more improvements to your team or different MT amounts, whatever the case may be. Make sure you guys go ahead and continue to send your teams in, as I will be doing another one of these videos in the next couple of days, and I will put a tweet out when I do that. So make sure you follow me on Twitter at GrimFateYT with notifications on. Leave a like and sub up to the channel. Make sure you guys are subbed up. Check and make sure right now. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm out of here, boys. Peace out.